Hey y'all, Kyle here. I was going to put out a video today, but I decided against it. But then I decided against that and wanted to talk a little bit about nerding out with your RV. I've got my nerd glasses on, and I've been looking at this project for a while and wanted to get your opinion on it, and also wanted to talk about what things do you nerd out on with your RV or your hiker trailer. I think what I'm going to do is this week I have a Raspberry Pi here, and I've got a Victron system. Well, I've got Victron components in my hiker trailer, and they all integrate in with Bluetooth, which is great. But I want a way to monitor all of the battery and the solar panel and the temperature inside the rig while I'm away. And Victron allows you to be done, but you have to buy obviously all of their components, and they all connect together. But then they connect into a device called a Serbo GX, which is basically just a Raspberry Pi on steroids with a bunch of inputs and outputs, which I really don't need all of the inputs and outputs. I only need a few because I only have a shunt, I have a solar charge controller, and that is about it. But I still want to be able to get all the benefits of a Serbo GX, like external temperature monitoring and some relays that I want to turn on and off, and some other things. So Victron has, I don't know if they've open sourced their OS, their VenosOS, which is their operating system that runs on the Serbo GX. I don't know if it's open source, but they have a version that you can put on a Raspberry Pi. So I've been following this guy, his name is Toby, and I'll link his channel below. He has put the Serbo GX on a Raspberry Pi, and then he bought some USB dongles, which these are just generic USB converters, serial converters, and I'll put a link in the description below that works with the Serbo GX. And then are the VenosOS Pi, OS for the Pi, and then it's got these leads. And one of these is power, one of these is communication, and there's a whole mapping that you need to take one of these, and then one of these JST connectors that I'll link below, and they've got a lead on them, and connect these into each other, and that's how you connect the Victron components to your Raspberry Pi. Now, a Raspberry Pi only has 4 USB connectors here, so you've got more. You'll need to get a hub. But I am going to try and put this together this weekend and see if I can just monitor my shunt and get all of that information into this VenosOS. And I'll put some screenshots of what the VenosOS looks like in the interface, and you can web into, it's got a web interface. So you web into it through an IP, and you're able to see the information of your system. The nice thing it also has is these have, this is a Raspberry Pi 4. You've got many HDMI connectors and a video out on the Raspberry Pi, and you can put this on like a 7-inch screen and then put this into a place where, you're going to be able to monitor the devices through the screen. Raspberry Pi sells a 7-inch screen, touch screen. That's probably the best. That's probably the route that I'm going to go. But also keep in mind, I'm only going to use this whenever I'm powered by shore power. I'm not going to power this through the battery, because a Raspberry Pi takes about 2 to 2.5 amps to power. So I'm not going to put this on my battery. I'm going to use this whenever I'm at a campsite and I want to monitor, like I'm going to leave my dog in the trailer and want to monitor the temperature and obviously the power. Also, it has a GPS I bought this GPS receiver on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below, and that connects into one of the USB ports, and then you're able to track your hiker. And also, whenever it reports back up to the Victron homepage or server, and then you can get into the server from anywhere in the world through a web browser and take a look at your hiker. You log in, and then you're able to actually make changes to your devices on the fly because it's communicating to the server. But anyway, if your hiker ever goes or your RV ever goes missing, and you do have this thing plugged into battery power and it's powered up all the time and it's got an internet connection, you will be able to find where your RV or your hiker trailer is. So anyway, that's what I wanted to do a quick video on. One take Charlie here, just going to put that out there. But yeah, going to power my hiker through a Raspberry Pi and see how that works out for me. I'll post an update later whenever I get everything configured and tested, but be looking for that. Thanks, guys.